Okay, I wanted to make a video on some of the things I prepped before I left, some of the things that happen right when you arrive at the airport, then things that you got to kind of figure out once you get settled in your hotel or condo, and then I'll finish up at the end with just some random things that I've learned since I've been here. All right, before you leave, you want to make sure you notify all of your banks, your investment accounts, credit cards. Let them know that you're going to be traveling or vacationing, not that you're moving permanently. Also, you'll want to log in on a device to all of those accounts while you're still in the US. Some banks won't let you access from abroad unless you've logged in from that device in the US. So make sure you do that. Next, you want to make sure you keep your US phone. Now, you can change plans and get a cheaper one. I personally use Ting Mobile. It's $15 a month, no frills, and it does work flawlessly for Wi-Fi calling and receiving two-factor authentication text here in the Philippines. It's the only one I've tested, so that's the only one I can vouch for, but I'm sure there are others that work just fine. If you have to bring money for Visa deposits or changing, make sure you bring crisp $100 bills in the quantity that you want, keeping sure that you keep it under 10,000 unless you want to declare it when you go through customs. If you take supplements, protein powder, medicine of choice, antibiotic cream, you may want to bring those. The protein powder over here is horrible. It's got a bunch of chemicals in it. If you book a hotel here, only book for a few days. And then if you're going to go into an Airbnb, make sure you only book that Airbnb for a few days so you can get into the place, check it out, make sure they have the amenities you want. It's not loud, it's not dirty, it's going to be acceptable. And then if you like the place, then extend it out for the duration until you can find a long-term rental. Make copies of your passport, social security number, birth certificate, and driver's license. I just made 5 copies each. Haven't needed any of them yet, but you might need them. So it's good to have the copies made so you don't have to run around trying to get copies here. If you're going for the SRRV, make sure you bring your apostles. Seal them in plastic so they don't get wet or somebody doesn't mess them up. I vacuum sealed mine. Same thing I did with my cash. Set up Wise while you're in the US and do at least 1 or 2 transfers before you're leaving. I set it up there. I did 1 transfer, it didn't go through. Then I did another one and it worked fine. And I did a third one and it worked fine. So make sure you have Wise or whatever money transfer thing that you want to use. Have that set up in advance of leaving. And finally, make sure you have an outbound ticket and your e-travel done. Now, I wasn't asked for my outbound ticket at customs. I wasn't asked for it at immigration. I was asked for it when I went to get a SIM, a PI SIM. So make sure you have it. Now I'm going to talk about arriving at the airport. Once you get off the plane, first thing you're going to do is clear the Bureau of Immigration. They'll do the passport stamp. After you clear through there, you'll go pick up your luggage, and then you'll proceed through customs. Once you get through customs, go through the doors and turn right and start walking to the right. You'll pass the Globe and Smart kiosk on the left. Keep going, and then kind of at the end, there'll be 2 different money changers. Go ahead and exchange your cash for however much you think you're going to need. One to get the SIM and your grab and any other incidental expenses you might have first day or 2 until you figure things out. The prepaid SIM was 2,000 pesos. They only had 1 plan available. I did go with Smart. So far, it's been fine. No issues. Can't speak to Globe. Didn't use them. And once you get your phone activated, Then you can leave out through the airport, go across one road of traffic, and then there'll be like a center aisle. Once you get there, look to the right, and that's where the little grab kiosk is. You can go right up there. They'll tell them where you're going, your hotel. They'll give you a little piece of paper, and you'll know exactly what you have to pay the guy. So there shouldn't be any messing around. Don't even mess with the taxis. Just get a grab and head to your accommodation. We've just got a short list of 4 things that you'll want to do right away. First, you need to source clean drinking water. Now, if you're in a hotel, they most likely provide it for you. And if you're in an Airbnb, they might. So if they don't, you're going to have to find a water source close. They sell big multi-liter bottles in the 7-Elevens, which seem to be all over the place. So that shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Like I said, you'll need it for drinking and brushing your teeth. Next, you're going to have to find food and good source. Now, if you're in a major metropolitan area, one of the larger cities, there should be some malls close by that you can go to, or with some grocery stores, just kind of for a soft landing till you figure out where you can and can't eat. Then you'll probably want to find a laundry source. They're all over the place here. I just so happen to have one in the condo building that I'm in. And also, you're going to want to set up the Grab app. And I would say don't set up the Grab app in the US. Wait till you get here so you can have it tied to your Philippines phone number. That's basically it for the main critical things you want to do right away. And the final section is just some random things, some that I had questions about before I left and never heard anybody talk about, and also things I've found out since I've been here. First thing, money transfers. GCash, you cannot get verified unless you have a Philippines ID of some kind, which means the only functionality to GCash will basically be for you to put money on and pay with a QR code. You can't send money to anybody else. You can't do bill pay. And I actually even had a problem trying to send somebody else GCash because I didn't have it set up yet. So I needed to make a payment. I went to a Sorry store. I also went to Cebuana. Neither one of those places would take a copy of my passport. And I don't have my original passport because the PRA has it. And I won't get that back until they finish my visa. So keep that in mind. I've never seen anybody mention it, but they would not let me even send money to a GCash recipient without my original passport. If you're coming on a tourist visa, I guess that won't be an issue for you. But if you're applying for an SRV, that could be a biggie. Okay, I boil eggs in tap water and have not had any issues. I rinse them after I crack them open. I rinse them with clean drinking water, but I've had no issues boiling them in tap water. Also, I've had no issues with washing my dishes in tap water. Let them dry, and I haven't gotten any kind of sickness or anything from it. On food, it is very, very difficult here to find food without sugar and garbage chemicals and oils. So you're really going to have to read the labels. And I've found a lot of the products here don't even have ingredient labels on them. So I've basically just been cooking pork and hamburger meat for the most part. They do have some varieties of tuna that are just packed in water. Doesn't quite taste like US tuna, just so you know. And there are some sardine makers that don't put the bad oils in. Also, there are, from time to time, when you're walking around, you'll smell some pretty strong odors. Learn to breathe through your mouth. If you start smelling something skanky, just breathe through your mouth and for a few meters until you get past it, and then go back to breathing through your nose. It's not totally horrible, but it can take you off guard, especially if you get close to a sewer drain. Next up is learn the following word, walang pera. It means no money. Now, I've used no thank you, and they keep trying, but if I use walang pera, they immediately stop. So definitely learn that. And I'll make sure I have the spelling on the screen for you. And finally, I haven't tried any street food. I mean, mostly from what I've seen, it's all done in questionable seed oil. I don't know how fresh it is, and just really not wanting to, one, have anything cooked in seed oils or risk having sitting on the toilet for 3 or 4 days afterwards. That's all I have for this one. If you have any questions, want further clarifications, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. I will try to reply to every comment that I get. And that's it. Thanks for watching.